Hey guys, it's Justin, here to talk about a tweet that set the internet on fire this morning. So Mark Kern tweeted out that the Starfield start screen either shows hasty shipping deadlines by a passionate team that's overworked or a team that didn't care. It sparked a lot of conversation about what makes a good start screen, and does a start screen actually tell you about how the game actually is? Well, personally, I think this is a bad take. I like the minimalism that Starfield's gone with, their entire aesthetic, and I think the start screen is just an extension of that. But it did get me thinking, what are some of the best Nintendo start screens I can remember? So I put together this quick list. Now, these are my favorites. Obviously, you're going to have your own. Let me know what yours are down in the comments below. You knew Ocarina of Time was going to make the list. There's something so peaceful about Link riding Epona across Hyrule Field in the start screen. As the camera swings around, you get these awesome glimpses of Hyrule Castle, Death Mountain, the forest, and these other major landmarks that you'll discover as you play through the game. This start screen is just a hint at the huge open world that Nintendo built for its first 3D Zelda game. I mean, just look at this. Nintendo is clearly showing off. You even get a sense of the day and night cycle from the sun setting. Like, it's these little things that add up to a really immersive experience. The other interesting thing in the start screen is you're seeing Link here as an adult, which at the time this came out was really fascinating, because when you start playing the game, you're playing as young Link. This is the perfect teaser. What kind of multi-year adventure were you about to embark on with Ocarina of Time? Next up, Super Mario Kart. For a lot of reasons, I love the Super Mario Kart start screen. So keep in mind, this was the first Mario Kart. Kart racing was a pretty new concept in video games for a lot of people, and this start screen really gives you a good idea about what's to come, which is what the best start screens do, right? When you start off, you see Mario, Luigi, Peach, and the rest of the crew in karts. You're seeing it from the side perspective. Mario's in the lead, but not for long. So as these Mushroom Kingdom characters drive across the screen left to right, you're getting introduced to all of your playable characters. Bowser, staying true to his character, shoots a green shell at Toad, and in that instant, we see kart combat for the first time. Later, Donkey Kong Jr. throws a banana peel, taking out Yoshi and Mario, and then Mario comes back with a star and takes the lead again. In just those few seconds, this happened so fast. In just those few seconds, you see 3 different types of power-ups. A shell that's basically a projectile that can be shot in front of you, a banana that can be thrown behind you, and a star that makes you completely invincible, lets you run through your opponents. Just think about that. We've got our playable characters, we've got 3 different types of items. That's just a ton of information about this game that's conveyed in just a few seconds. A really good start screen. If you've ever watched my videos on the Nintendo 64, you'll know Cruising the World almost always comes up. When I was a kid, I loved this game. It was my favorite racing game on the Nintendo 64. It probably still is, honestly. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I think this start screen is fantastic. Starting off with the globe, it's got some sun rays around it and a gear. The logo kind of looks like a compass. Like, it's almost like they're saying, you're going around the world, you might need this. And to top it all off, the music. Come on, you gotta love it. This has been the soundtrack in my dreams for more than 25 years. I love this game. Hey, really quick, if you're enjoying this video, consider hitting the like button and subscribing. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel already. I really appreciate it. All right, back to the list. Can you think of a creepier NES start screen than Metroid? Everything about this is iconic for me. Every element of the Metroid start screen is designed to reinforce the game's central theme. Total isolation. You are here on your own. The music is sparse, creepy, minimalist. The alien terrain is void of almost any landmarks with the exception of a few mountains in the distance. And if you look at the sky, there's no atmosphere. It is totally black. It's bleak, it's dark, it's scary. If you wait long enough, you get a quick emergency order from the Galaxy Federation Police explaining your mission. It's very matter of fact. There aren't any niceties to it. It's saying, basically, here are your orders. This is your job. And guess what? It's an emergency. Go. Alright, next up, back to the Nintendo 64. Conker's Bad Fur Day, an absolutely infamous Nintendo 64 game. I still can't believe they even made it. I mean, Conker is literally cutting the Nintendo 64 logo in half with a chainsaw. So, full disclosure, I've been playing a lot of Conker lately, so I just feel like I had to include this one. The interactive title screen puts you in the pub, fittingly called the Cock and Plucker, and lets you have a look around while you scroll through what's basically a menu. You've got 3 different save files, a multiplayer mode, your general options, and then a chapter select. As you whirl around the pub, you get introduced to many of the characters that you'll meet during the Bad Fur Day, like Greg the Grim Reaper, or Birdie, or the Fire Imp, and the squirrels that are about to go to war. This start screen is the perfect way to introduce you to the world and give you context. It lets you know what Conker's been up to before the game begins. Pokemon Soul Silver. Now, I could have used the original Pokemon Silver, but I think Soul Silver does an even better job with its start screen. The original is iconic, no doubt, but the extra detail here, this is what really sticks with me. I don't know if this is actually one of the best Nintendo start screens, but it's definitely my nostalgia pick. Compared to the first generation of Pokemon games, Silver and Gold used the start screen to introduce you to its box legendary. Pokemon Blue started with Squirtle, Red started with Charmander, and they scrolled through a few different Pokemon that you could catch in the game, but Silver and Gold really put an emphasis on the legendaries. Silver was really special to me because, well, this was my game. I loved Pokemon Blue, but when Silver came out, I thought it did everything Blue did, but it did it 10 times better, and to have Kanto actually in the game, it just was a true sequel. The start screen here is mysterious, it's Lugia underwater swimming super fast, and it's this start screen that reminds me of how good the creature design was. Remember, when the original Silver came out, the entire world was losing its mind over Lugia. Lugia was the star of Pokemon the movie 2000. This start screen just has it all. The mystery, the music. It's a glimpse of what you're about to see in this new Pokemon adventure. Chrono Trigger. It's already one of the greatest games ever made. Is it any surprise that Chrono Trigger would also have one of the greatest start screens ever? Starting off with an all-black screen and a swinging pendulum, this title screen is ominous. As the swinging starts to slow down and the pendulum eventually comes to a complete stop, it's like saying something big is about to happen. Something is about to disrupt the world that we know, and it has the power to stop time itself. As the music slowly fades in, the famous Chrono Trigger logo slides in, and in this single frame, these simple components set the tone for the entire game and introduce you to time as the central mechanic in the game. Last one, Super Mario 64. Probably the most iconic start screen ever. It even taught you how to use the thumbstick. It's easy to forget how big of a jump it was going from a Super Nintendo controller to a Nintendo 64 controller and using this thumbstick to control everything. But in using it for just a start screen, this interactive start screen, you start to get a little used to it, you know? You can hold down the R button and freeze Mario's face and whatever weird configuration you have them in. I mean, this start screen is almost a game in and of itself. The main reason that Nintendo put together a start screen is to show the power of the Nintendo 64. For a new player back in '96, Mario's 3D floating head was a hint at this huge 3D world that was about to come your way as soon as you press the start button. The music here is great too. It's an updated take on the original music from Super Mario Bros. World 1-1, at the same time that it's showing that there's this, direct connection between Mario 64 and Super Mario Bros. It's also saying this is a break. This is something new. This is something that's going to be exciting. This is something that is going to be familiar to you, but you haven't ever seen before. That's my list of some of the greatest start screens in Nintendo history. Which ones make your list? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing.
Oh, yeah.